In the engine car, Joker finally kicks through the door, drawing his knife, rushing at the fake. Honey, I'm home! He laughs as he drives his blade into the fake's shoulder. So glad you can make it. It's been so long, the fake says with a smile. The two continue to trade blows, their knives slashing through pale skin. But the Joker's smile finally fades. I never should have made you. But suddenly there's a pistol pushing into the back of his head and the fake smiles. Now you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, there are multiple Jokers, and we found out that the Joker made the other Joker. We discovered that in the last video, but now the question is, who is the second Joker, and how will this story finally end? This is Comicstorian. We take comic books, turn them into audio drama so that you know what to add to your collection. Don't forget to check us out on Spotify and our sister channel, Comicstorian Full Story. Downtown Gotham. The night janitor looks up as three men approach him. Can I help you? He asks. And the three clowns peer at him as the Joker leans forward. Maybe, the Joker says quietly, turning back to his henchman. You really think that he looks like me? He asks before he begins to check the man's teeth. And finally he pushes him away. Grab him, I guess. The thugs take the janitor out to the van and throw him in with the others. We probably have enough, right? Joker asks as he slams the door shut, the rain beginning to pour on their heads. A few blocks away, the Joker's now standing in the rain with one of his henchmen holding an umbrella over him. This is unacceptable. How hard is it to find one deranged clown in this city? The Joker shouts at his small army. And then he turns to everyone, ordering them to keep looking, to torture whoever they need to until they find the imposter. With everyone thoroughly afraid, Joker heads back inside. Hey, you're gonna want to see this, Killer Moth calls out, pointing at the TV. So the Joker comes over listening as the news reports of the Joker causing a subway crash in Midtown. First responders are being held back for their own safety as the Joker is still on site, wandering around, naked, the reporter says, and the Joker frowns at the TV. He's making it very hard for people to take me seriously. Meanwhile, in Upper West Side, Manhunter leaps down from the rooftops. She looks up in the rain and sees Ravager watching her from a fire escape. You again. Ravager nods, smiling. Me again. She leaps down, handing Manhunter some documents, explaining that Red Hood would like her to check some addresses for him, that he's trying to keep his hunt off the Bat family radar. But don't make a move without him, Ravager tells her, so Manhunter sighs, turning away. Fine, let's go. Ravager shakes her head and says that she is just the messenger. But Manhunter turns back to her. You're really good. If this goes where I think it's going, I could use you. Manhunter tells Ravager, so Rose finally relents, asking one very important question. What makes you think I want to get killed by a clown? She asks as the two crime fighters head off into the rainy city. Meanwhile, in Midtown, the police are still trying to keep everyone back from the destruction that the crashed subway car has inflicted. But the Joker pushes through the cops, his army of clown henchmen at his back, and they leap into the fight, attacking the police force as Joker and Killer Moth calmly walk into the fray. You smell that? Joker asks, and Killer Moth nods. Yeah, smells like burnt hair and gasoline. But the Joker shakes his head. Yeah, but not that. It smells like victory. We're ending this tonight. Meanwhile, at the Joker's warehouse, one clown left behind to guard the place looks up in surprise as somebody comes up behind him. Boss? How'd you get here so quickly? Everything okay? The Joker giggles as he starts up his chainsaw. Everything is going perfectly, he says with a vicious sneer, and blood flies through the air as the Joker brings the chainsaw down. Behind him, his two henchmen begin to pour gasoline around the warehouse. But back over at the Midtown accident, Joker and Killer Moth look up as this Joker comes staggering out of the fire, his hair on fire and his clothing burned off. Well, that's just confusing, Joker says as he looks at his double. Some of the henchmen walk up to the Joker double, who also seems confused. That's not him, Joker notes, and they turn back to him. Yeah, well, I know it's not you, boss. This is the fake Joker. He's not really you. The The henchman says with a shrug, but Joker shakes his head. That's my point! That's not the fake Joker! Killer Moth moves forward, telling him that he can't get a hold of anyone left back at the warehouse and that someone just spotted the imposter at a hardware store in Chinatown. This particular fake Joker staggers, falling to the ground with the henchmen beginning to gather around him. Hey boss, is this dead guy supposed to be making a weird buzzing sound? The henchman asks, and Joker shakes his head, looking at Killer Moth. Probably not. I get it now. This is funny. Killer Moth. Time to make like a moth, Joker says. So Killer Moth's eyes widen as he grabs the Joker, pulling them both into the air as the fake burning Joker suddenly explodes beneath them, killing all of the henchmen gathered around. Sorry, boys. We gotta get to Chinatown. But Killer Moth isn't used to flying two fully grown men. Stop wiggling. You're too heavy. I can't fly with this much weight, the Killer Moth says, shouting as the Joker keeps swinging beneath him. I'll have you know that I have very thin bones! But they both slam into a building, falling to the ground, landing in a dumpster. Nice work. Meanwhile, over in Old City, Manhunter kicks open a door to another warehouse, and she moves through the darkness until she finds a bloody shoe. Huh, she whispers as she leans down, but a voice calls out to her from the shadows, so she whirls around with her electric staff at the ready. You're late! Your ads say that if you're not here in 30 minutes, my dinner is free. The other Joker giggles as he steps into the light, Manhunter preparing herself for the fight. Did you actually think you could get away from me, Joker? But Joker pauses, staring at her for a moment. I've actually never thought about you at all. Who are you? He asks, and Manhunter leaps at him, reminding the Joker that he almost killed her back in LA, but the Joker easily dodges her attack. Oh, you're from LA? That explains the delusions of self-importance. Telling her that he hasn't been there for a very long time, and he pulls out a hatchet, taking a slice at her head. She easily dodges, telling him to stop lying, but that's when one of Joker's henchmen grabs her from behind. Meanwhile, back over with the other Joker and Killer Moth, they've now arrived at a hardware store in Chinatown. Joker walks up to the henchmen that have taken up positions outside, ordering them to head inside. Go in there and bring him out. I'll wait here for no particular reason, Joker says, and the clowns head inside with the Killer Moth staying by Joker's side. If you stay outside, I stay outside, Moth says with a nod. Suddenly, the building explodes, throwing them both to the ground. Flaming clown masks and oversized shoes falling to the ground around them as Joker struggles to look at the burning building. Ha! That's a good one! Back at the warehouse, Manhunter has gotten back to her feet, realizing that this Joker has no idea who she is. So it's true. You're really not the Joker I was looking for. I didn't believe Red Hood when he told me that there were two of you. The Joker nods, smiling. Oh yes, Jason is such a smart little boy, isn't he? He raises his hatchet, apologizing for not being able to play with her anymore. I'm in the middle of a very big personal vendetta. I'm sorry whatever your name is, but I'm sure they'll build a statue to you or something, he says as he prepares to kill her with his hatchet, but that's when a gunshot echoes through the rafters and the Joker falls, a round piercing his shoulder. He whirls around, retreating into the shadows as he cuts power to the building. No! It's too soon! Ravager leaps down to join Manhunter, apologizing for being late, but as the two prepare for their fight, a door to the warehouse opens up, revealing a horde of giggling Jokers. The two women stare in horror as the horde of Jokers stumble towards them, laughing, begging for help. I got the ones on the left, Ravager says as she readies her blade, but Manhunter shakes her head. These men have been poisoned. We need to get them help. Ravager drops into a combat stance, but pauses when she hears a strange noise. What's that buzzing? Outside, Mr. Waffles has trailed the two heroes to the warehouse. He holds up his phone, telling the others to get to him quickly. That's when the warehouse explodes behind him, throwing him to the ground, and as he struggles up, he sees his cell phone was smashed by a big purple shoe. You shouldn't spy on people, the Joker says with a smile, raising his hatchet as he looks down at the clown henchman. Wait, I know you, he says as he cocks his head to the side, and Mr. Waffles nods. Yeah, we work together. Joker nods, remembering that Mr. Waffles used to be friends with John Kieser before he was turned into a Joker double. The Joker grins viciously as he leans to Mr. Waffles. And now, my loyal henchman, Mr. Waffles works with me against me. What do you have to say for yourself? The Joker growls, but Mr. Waffles shakes his head, pointing a shaky finger. No! You're John Kieser! The Joker rears back, surprise on his face. No, that's not right. That can't be right. I'm the Joker! I thought you knew. I'm sorry, John. Mr. Waffle says as the rain continues to pour, lightning crashing over their heads, as we finally reveal which Joker is the fake Joker. A little bit of time passes. The Gotham War happens in between these two issues. It's now nighttime in Gotham City, and transformed by Batman to be afraid at all times, Jason Todd is sitting on a park bench. His head bowed as his body still fights the fear that Batman put inside of him, stopping him from being Red Hood. And a voice calls out from the distance. "Hello, Jason. You look poorly." The Joker double says as he walks out of the darkness, fear overtaking Jason as he stands, and he is surrounded by the Joker's goons. "No, it's you!" he shouts out, but the Joker double looks sad. "People keep saying that, but no, it's not true." Jason tries to run, but Grundy grabs him. "Still skittish, I see, my poor little vigilante. What did he do to you?" Joker then draws a pistol, stepping forward, promising to fix Jason, as long as he helps him with a project. He fires a puff of Joker toxin into the young man's face, and Grundy drops him. "You won't be scared anymore," the Joker double promises. And then he smiles. "Well, you might be scared, but you'll think it's funny," Joker double admits as Jason looks up with a smile on his face. "What did you do to me?" he asks, and Joker explains that he gave him a small amount of Joker toxin that should counter whatever Batman has done to him. "Just enough to bring you to your psychotic alter ego." The Joker then explains that he needs Jason's help to take out the Joker. "I'm going to give you what you always wanted. I'm going to let you kill the real Joker," the Joker double says with a smile. Jason looks confused, and the fake Joker admits that he has learned that he isn't the real Joker after all. "I'm just a sad victim of his madness, and I want revenge, just like you." "But you're still a delusional, murderous maniac," Jason points out, and the fake Joker nods. "Which is why I think we're going to hit it off wonderfully." Jason then looks at the fake Joker's group and sees the young cancer patient that the Joker met in the hospital. He looks back to the Joker, telling him that he won't do anything to endanger a kid. So Joker double smiles, leaning over the young Albert. "Perhaps we can find a way to kill two birds with one stone." A short time later, 18 miles north of Gotham, Jason is screeching through the streets on his motorcycle, dragging a clown goon behind him. With the roar of the engine, the Batmobile suddenly gets behind him. Red Hood races into a warehouse, ditching his motorcycle as Batman follows, but as the Bat rounds the corner, he's shocked to find Ravager pulling off Red Hood's jacket. She smiles nervously, pulling young Albert close to her. "Hiya, sorry about the whole chase. Jason said that you'd know what to do with this kid." Batman narrows his eyes as he looks at her. "Where is he?" 35 miles south of Gotham, the fake Joker is laughing as he blows a train horn, pushing the speed to full. One of his goons leans over his shoulder, asking if Red Hood knows about them blowing up Gotham Central with the train. Fake Joker shrugs, blowing the horn again. "I may have left out some details for our vigilante, but I'm sure it's going to be fine." The goons keep asking questions whether the real Joker is going to be able to find them. "I left him clues that he can't miss," the fake Joker says with a laugh, and one of them finally looks out the window and points at the massive Joker blimp lowering towards them from the night sky. "Boss, I think he found us," the goon calls out, and the fake Joker laughs as he leans out the window, tipping his conductor's hat. "Well played, real me! Well played!" he shouts with glee, and on board the blimp, the real Joker looks down with a smile. "He has my style! You have to give him that!" The armies of the two Jokers begin to clash over the train, and the Joker slides down a rope onto the engine car. The train passes over a cliffside, so Red Hood revs the engine of his motorbike, leaping off into the night, landing on the train. No longer gripped by fear, using Joker toxin as his fuel, he draws his guns and begins to fire, not worrying about which Joker goons he hits. In the engine car, Joker finally kicks through the door, drawing his knife, rushing at the fake. "Honey, I'm home!" He laughs as he drives his blade into the fake's shoulder. "So glad you can make it. It's been so long," the fake says with a smile. The two continue to trade blows, their knives slashing through pale skin. But the Joker's smile finally fades. "I never should have made you." But suddenly there's a pistol pushing into the back of his head, and the fake smiles. "You shouldn't have made either of us," Red Hood says as he cocks the pistol. The Joker stands slowly, Jason looking at the fake. "What now?" The fake shrugs his shoulders. Well, I didn't have it all planned out. I thought we would kill him and eat him to take all of his powers, the fake says with a smile, and Jason shakes his head. We gotta stop the train and go somewhere isolated, so we can take our time with him. But the fake shakes his head, explaining that he's actually disabled the brakes on the train and that they're going to crash into Gotham Central and blow up the train. And then they're going to blanket the city in a cloud of Joker gas. Jason whirls around on the fake, aiming the pistol at him. You're as insane as he is! The fake nods, smiling. Yeah, that was kind of the point. The real Joker suddenly whirls around, knocking Red Hood's pistol away, kicking him out the door. Bye-bye! He says with glee, as the fake moves quickly, locking the door so that Jason can't get back in. And that's when the two Jokers turn on each other, both smiling. Quick thinking with the door. Well done, the Joker says, but the fake shakes his head. No, it was all you with the lunge. I was scared. Then they both stare at each other again before leaping at each other with their knives. I'll kill you! They both shout as they continue to cut and stab. Outside, Jason suddenly sees Killer Moth flying by, so he leaps on the criminal, ripping off the wings and putting them on his own back, flying back up to the blimp overhead. In the engine car, the two Jokers are continuing their battle until the real one demands to know how the fake planned on escaping. I did have an emergency escape, just in case. The fake gasps as the Joker's hands wrap around his throat. On the blimp, Jason crashes through the window, guns trained on the pilot. Stop the train! He snaps, but the pilot asks how, explaining that if he blows it up, the gas will still blanket the city. Useless! He snaps, firing a bullet, killing the pilot. He then straps himself into the pilot's seat, finally getting on the Bat Family radio asking for help. Batman's voice reaches him and Jason explains the situation. So Batman explains that he's on his way, but it's gonna be a minute. Someone distracted him across town. He tells Jason that if he blows up the tanks, some of the gas will still reach the city. Same if he dumps it into the river. So Jason's mind begins to race as he begins to aim at the blimp at the train. What about both? There's a long pause before Batman asks, what do you mean? Back on the train, the two Jokers finally stopped fighting, the real Joker suggesting that they both escape the train and then just go their separate ways. As long as the fake leaves Gotham, he can be the Joker somewhere else. And we're equals? Both of us get to be the Joker? Joker nods, holding out his hand. Sure, until one of us gets bored and kills the other. Both Jokers throw their knives and head for the door, the fake looking up as the blimp comes barreling towards him. That boy really hates you. Joker nods, smiling. I know! Isn't it wonderful? He says before they both leap from the train, crashing into the river below. Behind them, the blimp slams into the train, blowing everything up in a massive fireball. The fire rains from the sky into the river below, but the Joker suddenly comes up for air, his hair burnt to a crisp on his head. He gasps for air, the other one breaking the surface with a knife in his hand. He grabs the first Joker and pulls them both under. It's 10 minutes later that Ravager arrives at the bridge, looking down into the water for some sign of Jason. No, she gasps before leaping off the bridge into the water. Jason, you stupid idiot! She finds him there amongst the seemingly endless corpses of Joker goons and pulls him to the shore. You dumb boy! If you're dead, I swear I'm gonna bring you back to life and kill you myself, she hisses as she rips off her mask and begins to perform CPR. After a moment, Jason begins to cough up water, gasping for air, and they both collapse on the beach. Am I dead? Despite your best efforts, not yet. Down the river, various goons of the Joker have gathered and they're arguing with each other. But it's Grundy who points at the water. Look, not dead. The large zombie grunts. And Joker suddenly stands up in the shallows, his hair and his clothing burnt off, stab wounds littering his body. Mr. Joker, is that you? Arnold Wesker calls out, but Killer Moth waves him away. Back off, ventriloquist. I think that's our guy. Right, boss? The Joker nods, walking forward, demanding his men get the car. The Killer Moth asks, where's the other Joker? And which one are you? The Joker laughs as he raises his hand out of the water, revealing the severed head of the other Joker. Oh, him? We don't have to worry about him anymore, he says before stepping out of the water and walking towards the car. As for who I am, I'm the Joker. And that concludes Joker, the man who stopped laughing. Now, I do like the ambiguous ending to this storyline because it leaves with which Joker survived, but since the Joker goes from this to the latest issue of Batman and says that he came from this to the latest issue of Batman, he literally says he had an identity crisis, which means that that's the surviving Joker. That is the real Joker. So let me know what you guys thought of this story overall in the comments down below. And don't forget, if you like this, give us a like, give us a subscription, and check out our sister channel, Comicstorian Full Story, and I will see you next time right here.